and we're just gonna treat this kind of like a how do I say it? We're gonna treat this kind of like a video. We're not gonna wait. We're just gonna get right into it. Hey guys, it's Dylan. Finally, you have the camera, but this camera is actually just the little webcam in my laptop right now. I'm hoping to get an actual webcam soon so that I can record good footage, but right now all I have is crappy webcam. Hello, we got Nathan here as my co-host.
Oh,
Welcome to TechnoTalks, where we talk tech. Today we're going to be covering the Steam Link
heard
app
of that.
that's upcoming. We're going to talk about some mobile gaming and VR solutions. So, how this show works.
Also fans.
Okay, yeah, Nathan decided to talk about fans for the day. But basically, how this show works is we talk about technology uh, and as and how it relates to the consumer. So, what the we're going to be discussing good choices for VR setups, for example, and in a later episode, we're going to cover smartphones. Mm, I I think hopefully we even continue this because the way this is going to work is I'm going to take requests in the comments. So if you guys want a topic covered, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. And if you know me on social media, please send me requests through that. All right, so the first thing I wanted to discuss today mm, is the Steam Link app. Now, Nathan, you actually have a little bit of experience with this. What do you know about the Steam Link?
Well, I have one set up in my sitting room upstairs. Um, its entire function is to stream your computer over Ethernet to your television
But
in another room.
there is a wireless option as well, but you got to have at least 5 gigahertz network to do that ideally. Continue.
Yeah, I don't particularly like the wireless connection because it works for the most part, but then you get random stutters and sometimes the stream lags for a second.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of personal experience with this because a while back I did test Steam in-home streaming between my XPS 15, which I'm streaming from right now, and my little MacBook Air that I used to use in high school. So
Yeah.
I tried that, and it worked reasonably well, but it wasn't nearly as polished as the Steam Link was, and Nathan actually has a wireless connection with his.
Well, I have a full wired connection with
Yeah,
my
that's
Ethernet.
sorry. I sorry, that's what I meant to say. You have a full wired connection. So
Yeah,
this
I have a Ethernet over power network set up between the two.
so the Steam Link app, which is actually going to be released on I think the 21st, so 6 days away, is literally just a little app that you can put on your phone. It's going to be on iOS and Android, also going to be on smart TVs. So presumably they're going to be. I think I actually read this. I think they're actually releasing it for the Apple TV as well, and so it's it's going to have pretty much the same function as the Steam Link, but it's going to be used on the phone. And here's the
Mhm.
thing that really bothers me about this. Um, I for one, I don't think I have a 5 gigahertz wireless connection, so it wouldn't be necessarily ideal for me unless I set it up wired with my Apple TV downstairs. The thing is, there's so much wireless stuff these days that maybe you do have a 5 gigahertz connection and you can ideally stream your PC to your phone or your tablet wirelessly. But then there are those of us who don't have it and want to do the same thing but don't know how to set up an Ethernet connection. And I think that's the biggest problem with this, other than wired connections are generally better. And here's the big thing that I realized the other day. So Nathan and I were discussing this on our own, off camera, off stream, and we realized that since a lot of smart TVs like the Apple TV have wireless, or not, yeah, both wireless and wired connections, it would be bad for Valve to distribute it on that platform because the, the it would essentially replace the Steam Link. And,
Well, I wouldn't say it's entirely a bad thing, as a while back, like I don't know if you can still do this, but a while back you could get the Steam Link for $5, so it really wasn't that expensive.
well, yeah, that's how you got it. That was a special deal, but I don't know what the context of that was anymore, and I'm not sure how you did that.
Well, yeah, I bought it off of Steam.
So it was a Steam sale,
Granted,
but that doesn't
granted,
happen very often. What's the MSRP on that thing?
well, looking at Amazon, the MSRP is 42.93.
42.93. So that's less than an Apple TV, which is good. So Valve could still sell that. But who do you who do you think the Steam Link is gonna satisfy? Probably competitive or like hardcore gamers. It would satisfy
Oh,
it would satisfy me at least for a little while, but it's like it's like having a PC that's you can kind of convert into a console. Hmm. I remember the Source Filmmaker thing that Valve did to demonstrate what it can do. So you can just have your PC in one room, have your Steam Link connected to your media hub or whatever you have in your. In fact, I think you can have multiple Steam Links in the house at one time. Excuse
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. You can have multiple in your house at once. In fact, because there's kind of a pairing process between the two.
Okay, so yeah, you can have multiple ones set up, but
Yeah,
but the problem is the Apple TV and I think also the Nvidia Shield and Roku. They already have so many other features that getting a Steam Link. Well, the Steam Link doesn't do the same thing, but since this app is coming out, and I don't know if it's being released on, is the Nvidia Shield an Android TV?
yeah. The Nvidia Shield is basically an Android TV that's capable of streaming your PC.
Okay, so they already have something very similar to the Steam Link, and uh, and yes, I'm aware that I'm actually aware that this is kind of still in the experimental stages. In fact, my Steam controller over here. mm, So I've had this for a few years, and Valve released a firmware update on their Steam client in a beta that allows this to use Bluetooth. And they probably had the Bluetooth transmitter and receiver in this thing for a while, but the firmware wasn't there to use it because they had no reason to use it. In fact, this is probably going to make a noise in my PC. I'm sorry. Okay, it did. This
I didn't hear anything.
this is what it uses to communicate with your computer. And now this firmware update allows it to communicate with your PC via Bluetooth. Now I've tested this, and the functionality is absolutely crippled. I I have no idea what Valve intends to do to fix this, but right now, uh, if I move my finger on and off of the trackpad too quickly, for example, the gyroscope will turn on if it's mapped to be activated by this, and it won't turn off unless I touch it again. So that's one example, but in the regular mode, it's fine. In Bluetooth mode, the functionality is absolutely terrible. So maybe it's just maybe that issue is unique to my unit, and I might have to roll back the firmware a few times for it to work right. But as far as I know, this is how it works right now, and I haven't seen anybody else on the Steam forums who has this issue. Oh, I thought your picture was frozen for a second, Nathan.
Was I that still?
Yeah, you were that still. I thought you're. Oh, it, I almost thought it was again.
Huh. Strange.
Yeah, so I think that this we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I think the Steam Link app is gonna be. Uh, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna optimize the wireless connections. Maybe it'll look better because what when Epic Games released Fortnite mobile on iOS, it it was really good. I've actually seen one of my friends play it on his iPhone 8. It works. It works really well. And I think yeah, I'm probably going to do a video about it just to see how well it works. But that's a good segue into the next topic, mobile gaming. So,
All right.
what are your thoughts
What
on mobile
about?
gaming, Nathan?
Uh, well, I've never been a, I've never been really a mobile gamer to be honest.
I
I've,
have.
I've pretty much primarily gamed on PC for most of my life.
Yeah, starting with your MacBook, right?
Yeah. It, it wasn't a very powerful machine, so I stuck to low-end games, but I still gamed on it a lot.
Amnesia doesn't seem like a very low-end game. Are you sure that was a low end?
Well, thing is, Amnesia is not a low-end game, but you can adjust the settings to play them better,
Yeah, I
since integrated graphics aren't very powerful.
yeah, I remember us playing games of that. Well, I remember you specifically playing Octodad and what were some other wacky games that we used to play on that thing?
We played Gary's Mod a lot.
Oh yeah, that
Goat
was.
Simulator.
Oh yeah, Goat Simulator,
I also
which
I also
runs
played
for
I've
some
also
reason.
played all the Half-Life games.
Oh yeah, yeah, we you played all the Half-Life games, and for some reason, Mike.
Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah, Kerbal Space Program. I was going to get to that, but a lot of the games that's we've played at that time, uh, our mobile phones are now are now capable of running games like that.
Well, I've yet to see Kerbal Space Program on a phone, but
Well, that's true. Yeah, but Kerbal Space Program does take up a lot of CPU usage. So, yeah, that's one of those things. Have you seen anybody in the chat yet, by chance?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
We've just been talking.
All right. Yeah, well, I kind of expect people to watch this afterwards, anyways, because school's still a thing and all.
I've modded KSP a lot actually. Oh yeah, I just remembered something.
What?
I have screen share so I can switch to screen view on the stream whenever I want to.
Well, you can, but
I mean, not
personal,
much of
yeah, personally, I prefer not.
All right.
Uh, like, for for mine, I don't really want to share my screen. In fact, actually, hang on, I gotta. Is there is there anything in my? Never mind. I'm not gonna look. Big, like I'd have to stop the stream to look in my action center right now.
Probably.
But
But you
hopefully that doesn't happen. All right. Yeah. Well, we're getting off track. So a lot of the good mobile games right now, like for people usually play quick reaction time games like what was that? What was that one game that we used to play back in high school? It was like that roll thing where you roll the ball around and these hammers keep swinging around. It was like a It's like a huge reaction time obstacle course game. You played it a lot.
Oh,
I can't remember the
the
name
only
of it.
really game I got into is called Rolling
Yeah, Rolling
Sky
Sky. That was it.
on the phone.
Yeah.
Seeing where
So
it is.
yeah, but get, phones are capable of so much more now. In fact, I'm on the PC beta for a game that I first played on my phone, and it's called Fractal Space. I think it's a really cool game. And I actually test the beta every now and then. I haven't really had time lately, but yeah, I'm in contact with the developer, and uh, he you'd have to play it yourself to really appreciate how good it is on the especially for a phone. It reminded me a lot of Portal actually in terms of like difficulty and the puzzles. It was actually
Yeah,
inspired by Portal. Yeah, there's Rolling Sky.
a pretty neat game to be honest. When I played a lot.
All right, yeah. So, forgot where I was going with this. Yeah, so the Steam Link app essentially is going to let you play your PC games on your phone. And actually, there's something I forgot to mention about the Steam controller having Bluetooth on it. So this thing is supposed to be able to connect to phones, and it's not going to work right away. But when you have the Steam Link app enabled, it'll work with the Steam Link app. And I have no way to test that out yet to see if that'll work. But and like I said, maybe the crippling of the functionality is unique to my unit and maybe my Bluetooth connection. But I've used plenty of other Bluetooth controllers, including the Switch Pro controller, and this thing. My image is flipped, but you can see Steel Series. This is the Stratus XL. Love this thing.
Oh,
Play it. I usually play games with that.
oh, I saw that on Amazon a few times.
I'm not surprised. It's a really good controller. It reminds me of the layout of the PS4 controller, but with Xbox buttons.
I really don't have any controllers that are compatible with my phone, but this is the one I primarily use on my PC.
Yeah.
It's hold on, let me see if I can get the name of this. I ordered this like within the last 6 months.
Okay,
This
so
is the Easy SMX wireless controller.
okay.
It's basically a 360 controller.
Okay. I use this from time to time, but I'm thinking about giving it away because I don't use it as much anymore. And
Xbox One controller.
yeah, and Steam is gonna officially support the Nintendo Switch Pro controller soon, which I have. Yeah, so once again, mobile gaming. I mean, some PC gamers like me actually do like mobile games, and mm, a lot of developers are actually trying to unify the two, like the Steam Link app, and more recently, Minecraft has gotten its own cross-platform edition between phones, consoles, and of course Windows 10. But Nathan has a lot of reservations about that. You want to air those?
Um, I don't really like the Minecraft. I don't like the Minecraft Windows 10 edition because, for example, it's nearly completely killed off the modding community. It's still there, but it's absolutely tiny compared to the Java version of the game.
Mostly because it's so limited by like how do I explain this? Yeah,
Well,
you can't
it's not
add things
really
anymore.
limited.
When you mod
Not
this version, you basically have to just change something in the game files. You can't add stuff anymore.
And then there's the paid for stuff that I really don't like.
Oh yeah, microtransactions. Yeah, I still have mine coins that I can't use. Yeah,
I really
because I
don't.
bought into that, and I wish I hadn't, but I got some cool maps from it.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, the stuff that they have on there is great, but the way they've executed that is just terrible.
Because I'm pretty sure you can find better stuff in the Java version for free.
Oh yes, absolutely. I've played plenty of stuff that is much better, and yeah. So it, at this point, yeah, there are really fun games that you can play on phones, but we keep coming back to PC, and not that I wouldn't play games on my phone. In fact, I do it all the time, but I just feel like mobile gaming is it's not really my thing anymore. I used to play most of my games on my phone, but now I've kind of moved on from that.
Hey, Dylan.
What? What's up?
Do I still have this on my phone even? Uh, yeah, I do.
What do you have?
Remember this?
Oh yeah, Goat Simulator Mobile. That's actually kind of good. I actually played most of the Goat Simulator games on my phone. I actually really liked those. I think actually aren't there I think there are more. I think there's more content on the mobile editions of Goat Simulator now than there is on the PC because
I
they're
thought all the mobile versions have come to PC as DLC.
well the yeah of course, but remember what was it called? Remember Goat Simulator MMO? Uh,
That's on PC.
yeah, of course it is, but here's the thing on mobile. There's a there's a new map for that didn't come on PC. And there's other stuff that came out on mobile that isn't on PC.
Okay.
So apparently, Coffee Stain Studios thinks it's a good idea to have a lot of cool content on phones, but it's exclusive, and
Yeah.
I don't really like that.
I've never been one who appreciates exclusives,
Yeah, in fact,
as
wait,
Dylan can
wait,
attest to.
don't you have the uh don't you have some of the Goat Simulator DLC?
I Yeah, I have some of the Goat Simulator DLC on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have Waste of
Oh,
Space.
you have that one?
Yeah, and you thought it was a glitch and you thought you were gonna get in trouble because apparently it
No, no,
downloads your computer.
that was the zombie. That was the zombie one.
Oh, I also have that one.
Yeah, yeah. You have Waste of Space, and I'd actually love to try that. Like, I think the reason that happened and I could access it on my account was because you downloaded it with yours legitimately, and I think Steam supports being able to share games on one PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so since mobile gaming didn't turn out to be that good a topic other than the Goat Simulator thing, um, VR.
Oh yeah.
You want to show off your stuff?
Hang on. Let me get this thing untangled. So, the HTC Vive with the deluxe audio strap is the one I'm currently using.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about maybe next year getting a mixed reality headset from either Dell or probably not from Dell because I saw that one at Best Buy yesterday when I went to buy Super Mario Odyssey, and like the headset looks great, but I saw the strap and I think it would interfere too much with my headphones.
Ah, well, yeah. Sometimes, the strap looks mostly the same across them, actually. Now, let me look. So,
It's the
Dell Mixed Reality.
there's a specific name for it. I forgot. Dell Visor. Dell Visor.
Yeah, Dell visor. So that's the one you saw?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they all of them have a strap like that one.
So that would interfere
And
with this though. Look at my camera.
you're going to get the same you're going to get the same exact problem across most VR headsets, except for the Oculus because that has built-ins.
Well, of course, but even you said that the HTC Vive without the deluxe audio strap doesn't really even have that problem.
Well, yeah, because it comes with some rather high-quality earbuds.
Well, yeah, but does is the strap doesn't cause that much of a problem though, does it? You can use headphones like this.
Well, the major problem I have with the strap is it's kind of uncomfortable.
Well, it yeah,
Like
that's
compared to the deluxe audio strap, this thing is wimpy,
that is true actually. Yeah, that is true.
and it does interfere with headphones.
Okay, so yeah, so you're gonna have a problem with that across the board. I actually saw Red Vector on like this was on another channel, but I saw mm, actually several people, Mythzan, Red Vector. They were using HTC Vives and they had over ear headphones. I think their headsets were from Logitech.
Hmm, interesting.
In
Anyways,
fact,
so
I know one of them was from Logitech because I used to have a headset just like it, except it was blue.
so here's the HTC Vive controllers, which are pretty neat in and of itself. The only major gripe I have with them is that the trackpad easily breaks,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's an easy fix if you're willing to void the warranty.
actually,
Because
actually Nathan, I had a similar problem with this the other day. When I downloaded the firmware updates, this part of the trackpad stopped working for a little bit, but then it fixed itself, and I was like, okay, that's weird.
no, what I mean is because of the way they designed them, there's this major design flaw where the trackpad can get stuck, like stuck down in a click state,
Well, yeah.
and you can't click it anymore.
Mhm.
It's it's a major design flaw, and in fact, there's whole guides online about how to fix it,
Mhm. That's true.
which I performed on this one, and it's been working like a charm ever since.
Oh yeah.
Although, unfortunately, with this one, the screw got stripped, and I couldn't take it apart.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And now, trackpad's mostly broken on this one.
All right. So we can't really show anything else, but do you still have your DK2 up there of the Oculus?
Oh yeah, I still have this thing. The
Yeah.
Oculus DK2.
All right.
My first step into VR.
So that's something that he's had for a while. You're way out of focus. Okay, there you go. That's something that he's had for a little while. I tried it. I liked it. We played a little bit of Half-Life 2 with it, but for some reason Valve killed off the VR support on most Source games, so we couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer because I totally play Half-Life 2 on my Vive.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the individual controller support now. In fact, I don't think it did to begin with.
Well, I wouldn't have minded that so much, to be honest.
Yeah.
But what I did mind is the support, that the VR support was totally killed off for a Half-Life 2.
All right. So let's talk a
It,
little bit. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the history of VR. So, the earliest I knew of VR, actually, my first exposure to anything like VR was this little toy I used to have, where you put a little disc inside this thing that looked like binoculars, and you would keep clicking it, and every time you clicked it, it would pull up a different image, like it would cycle through different pictures, and I liked that. I liked the concept of that. Then many years later, I see Nathan has this DK2, and I tried it, and I was like, whoa. So the only VR I really knew was stuff that you could do sitting down, and Then the Vive came out, and it was really expensive at the time that it did. It had the
Yeah, I
individual controllers. It was, I think it was it the first of its kind in that regard?
first of its kind to have controllers like these.
Yeah.
Well, first of the kind to have controllers this goddamn good,
All
but
true.
it was the first one to actually attempt controllers. Was called the Razer Hydra. Let me see if I can pull up an image of that.
Okay.
The Razer Hydra. I was thinking before the Vive came out, I was thinking of getting one to go with my Oculus.
Are you serious? Razer products are expensive as heck.
Yeah, true, but still, the Razer Hydra was kind of awesome because I was watching people play games with it and it looked super cool, so I wanted one. I was actually thinking of getting one for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this. So see if I can get a high res image of this to show off.
Yeah. All right.
Because I do not have this product. If I did, I'd show it off like a pride.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
I pretty
anyway,
much.
unlike the
Oh, go ahead.
Vive, it was a sit down product to go with the Oculus.
Yeah, that's another thing
And
I
other
wanted to
headset.
talk about actually. So, VR used to be a sit-down thing that you didn't do at your desk with either a controller or with your mouse and keyboard. Now it's you just up and move around your room or whatever. And actually, I was playing VR chat once, and I I talked a little bit with people mm, about how I couldn't imagine doing VR sitting down anymore since I'd been to your house so many times with the Vive. And the guy said, I think this was in one of my videos. The guy said, "Why would you sit?" And another dude goes, "Yeah, why wouldn't you stand?" And I was like, "Oh, how do I explain this? This is an older model."
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, I think it still it does support headsets like the DKs do too. Still,
Do you have an image
in
yet?
fact, yeah, I'm opening it and putting it into full screen before I. So yeah, this is gonna be rather low quality, but oh well. Um,
Actually, I don't think you have to put it in full screen. Can't you just
man, 10 APs left in Nitro. Oh well.
uh
So yeah, we have the Razer Hydra right here.
what is
Uh,
that?
that's the Razer Hydra, Dylan.
I know, but oh my goodness. Oh man.
It would fairly accurately track where your hands are when you held those things.
Hmm.
It's a pretty nifty little product and made VR all that more immersive when it came out.
Uh-huh.
There was also the Leap Motion, if anyone remembers that,
Leap motion.
which is basically this sensor that you put on your desk and you could move your hands around like
Oh,
this
I've
with it.
actually interacted with one of those. So leap motion, yeah, I did something for my honors in college where I mm, this it didn't work really well, but I did get to interact with that exact product, and I loved it. Like it was the next best thing to the HoloLens, I think, for that exhibition.
Yeah, I'm off center. But anyways, that. In fact, there's this little mount where people would attach it to the front of their Oculus, and it would detect their hand motions from like within the field of view,
Oh,
and then
that's
I
cool.
would have a rudimentary stand-up setup with the old Oculus sensor.
Okay, I apologize if there is a little bit of fan noise, but my computer is running a little hot, so I turned on my desk fan.
Yeah, I understand, but you sound fine, right? Fine to me, at least.
Well, that's because there's a noise gate. If the noise goes over a certain level, it transmits. But that's not how it is for OBS, I think.
All right. So yeah.
Yeah. What do you? Uh, what do we think that the best VR solution is if you're on a budget?
Well, right now I'd say that the Windows mixed reality headsets are really freaking cool for the price.
Yeah. As is the as is sort of the Oculus Rift, but there's no room scale tracking with that.
There is if you buy an extra camera.
Yeah, but you doesn't isn't there a little bit of a glitch with that? I think I remember you telling me that there's a glitch with that.
Yeah, there's some dead zones, but it's a fairly minor complaint.
Whereas with the mixed reality headsets, it they scan your play area. So
Yeah, it basically uses the dual cameras as sort of a depth gauge and accurately predicts where in the room you are.
and Nathan's actually seen videos on it. I haven't, and apparently the tracking is really good on those. And it Minecraft natively supports it, and Steam VR even there's even a Steam VR app that allows I think Vive games to be played with mixed
Yeah.
reality headsets. But
Also,
might be
also
wrong.
something pretty cool about the mixed reality headsets is the resolution.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
And
a huge plus. In
they
fact, it
all run
has
the
a
same.
higher resolution.
Mhm.
It has a higher resolution than my HTC Vive.
Yeah, it does. And the resolution is actually isn't it actually isn't it the equivalent of the Oculus Go? Because the Oculus Go has a
I,
higher res.
I don't know, but from what I hear, it actually has. Let me look at this so that I'm not mistaken.
Okay, while
So
you look
let's
for that, I'm
see.
gonna talk a little bit about the Oculus Go. So if you don't know what that is, it's a little standalone VR headset that you don't need to put a phone into. I think it charges via micro USB actually. I don't know if it has Type C. Yeah, it's micro USB. I remember. You just put it on your face like you would a regular VR headset, and it's a standalone thing, but it only has one controller, so it's kind of limited in terms of what you can do with it. And I don't know what games it supports, but there are quite a few games with it. You can I think you can watch Netflix with it, and yeah, you can have basically your own movie theater wherever you are. But I think that's more an entry level thing. It's only I think $200, and that's pretty good. But I'd almost rather I actually would rather have either an Oculus Rift or a mixed reality headset.
Well, right now the Vive is pretty low right now, and it has the best tracking on the market out of all of them.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't mentioned. No, the HTC Vive has the best tracking out of any VR headset right now. And you said it's low. What's the price right now?
It's dropped to $500 for the complete headset, sensors, controllers, and all.
Okay, it's been that way for a while now, so you can't really say the
Yeah,
price
it's
has
been that way,
dropped.
but
Yeah, it has dropped from the original price,
a
but
month, 2 months is a while, Dylan.
well,
2 months is
I don't know when the price dropped, but I just know that it's
it dropped. It dropped when the Vive Pro was released, which is really recent,
okay.
actually.
So Yeah, well, I was in the hospital for a few days, so uh, you can't really blame that.
Yeah, I guess you can't.
So yeah, Windows Mixed Reality, decent tracking. Mm, no, hardware is the same across pretty much every headset maybe except maybe some additions in a few of them.
For example, the Samsung Odyssey has has a slightly larger field of view,
Okay, so our
which is
final
a $500 headset.
okay, so our final two topics: fans and my new PC setup.
Oh yeah, these relate heavily to Dylan's new PC setup actually.
All right, so
So
take it away.
so you might think fans are really simple. You just have a couple blades set up that are rotating around a motor. That's your basic fan, right? Yeah, well, it's kind of like that. Except, well, yeah, that's pretty much how fans work. But
There are some that are
there's
better
quite
than
a bit of
others. One of these things aren't
there's
like the
quite,
other.
for example, it's one of Dylan's rather expensive fans that I bought for him. I'm unpacking right now.
Yeah, and in return, I'm
Is
gonna take them out for ramen.
is a Noctua fan. Now let's get this up close. See, it looks like your standard case fan until well, do you
I
see these little angles right here, Dylan?
I
You see those?
I kind of see that. Yeah, I do kind of see that.
Those are designed in such a way to make the to push more air. Instead of pushing air off to the side, it directs the air downwards,
Mm-hmm.
directly where it's blowing. That's the whole point of these stepped inlets.
Yeah.
There's also quite a bit of technology that goes behind the bearings inside. For example, the Noctua ones are oil based, and they're built to last at least 6 years, which is why
Mm.
it has a 6 year warranty. These
So
are premium fans, so of course they're different from your day to day fan.
yeah, and they're
And
and don't forget to mention that they are extremely quiet.
oh yeah, that's also another point of the stepped inlets. It's made so it can spin at a lower RPM but push similar amounts of air.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a quieter fan that's about as good as a fan you could get for less. I mean, it's better than a fan you can get for less
Right.
because it's much, much quieter. Like, seriously, I could barely hear this thing when I turned off all my other fans.
That's
And
right.
I was in a quiet room.
I think didn't you actually take those fans out of the packaging and test them with your PC first?
Yeah, I used my fan controller.
Okay. So you
By the
didn't.
way, these have some of the fanciest packaging I've seen for a fan.
Oh yeah.
See, look how it's packed.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
That's some nice
Also,
packaging on it.
here's a. Also, there's different types of way you can design a fan. Like for example, these fans have are mostly geared towards airflow, but they have decent static pressure, which is why I'm using them in the GPU chamber of Dylan's soon-to-be PC.
Mm-hmm.
And this fan, oh, right away you'll notice. Let me take it out of the package. This is this one's a little special.
Oh, is that the mod one?
Yeah, we're going to be replacing the fan on the spire with this thing.
Okay, so essentially the CPU that's gonna go into my PC comes with its own the CPU cooler, but we're gonna mod that, and we've already made sure that there's enough space for it in the case. The case is
Notice how
really thin, by the way.
notice how the fan blades are much more tightly packed on this one.
Oh yeah, yeah, I see that.
This fan is more optimized for static pressure. Far more optimized for static pressure, actually. So there's airflow and then there's static pressure. Static pressure is more relevant as a fluid term, but considering how gas is considered a fluid, it still applies.
Yes.
So with a static pressure fan, you'll have it. You don't have much space to push through air, but you're still pushing through air, and you're also causing a bit of pressure on the other side of this fan.
Right.
And that pressure is able to push it through. It's much better at pushing air through obstacles, basically, when you have a static pressure fan. So, like, let's say you have a fan behind, like, a hard drive cage and you want to push air through that. You'd have a fan that's more optimized for static pressure for that job.
Right.
So you'd have much more tightly packed fan blades, like on this little fan.
All right. So yeah, you want to talk a little bit about the PC now?
Oh yeah. So basically, I've designed Dylan a PC that we're going to be building over the summer.
Yeah. So this thing was no, we started on like we set our ideal budgets to about $1,500, um, not including tax, and it's pretty good. It has a GTX 750. I no no wait,
No,
what am I saying? 1070. Yeah, that's right.
1070 Ti.
Yeah, it has a GTX 1070 Ti, a Ryzen 5 new one. Nathan's gonna have to flash the BIOS on the motherboard so it's compatible with the CPU. Or
He's got a 6-core Ryzen 2600X.
right, and that's pretty much it for the highlights of the PC.
Oh yeah, the major highlight with it is the Node 202 case.
Oh yeah, this thing is gonna be
Sheer portability.
really small. It's hard to see. It's hard to say on video, but I think maybe that size.
Well,
It's a little bit. It's a little bit smaller than.
Probably about this wide and this thin.
It's a little bit bigger than Xbox One.
Yeah, it's a little bigger than an Xbox One. In
Yeah.
fact, let me show off some. Have you watched that video I sent you yet?
I
Perspective.
didn't see. I was too busy doing stuff.
You really need to watch that.
But
so yeah,
I mean, I've already seen videos about the Node 202, and it is really small. It's gonna be a little tough to work with in terms of cable management, but
yeah, we're going to have to plan the cable management beforehand. Ignore the fact that I have this in a 5.5-inch drive bay adapter, but this is the hard drive I'm going to be putting in his PC.
yeah, isn't that the SSHD? The one that you used to have your Hackintosh on?
I was using this for my Hackintosh partition a while back, but it didn't run so well.
No?
It didn't run as good as it should have. I wasn't getting any GPU acceleration. I was performing worse than my integrated graphics.
Oh, that's bad.
And I have a 1080 Ti. So yeah, I was having quite a bit of difficulty there. I didn't know how to continue from that.
So you just decided to scrap it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've already wiped that thing, right?
Yeah, this is completely wiped and renamed to Dylan's hard drive.
Okay. So that'll be easy to work with.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is it has 2 points of potential failure. So I'd store your sensitive stuff on your SSD.
Oh yeah, of course, because that SSD is going to be my boot drive anyway.
Yeah, so your important stuff would go on your SSD. That's all I recommend. This is more for like your game libraries and videos you're editing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Also,
so
I'd put high priority videos on your SSD so you can edit them faster.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, so we're so we're gonna do that PC build. I'm probably gonna live stream it. We might do a video. I'm
I
still
was
not
thinking,
I'm still not completely
I
sure.
th-
Nathan was thinking about doing a time lapse.
yeah, we could live stream it and do a time lapse too.
And I'm gonna get a better webcam soon too. I'm gonna get a I'm gonna get a day job or do some tech tutoring uh, so that I can get some of the components as
Oh
well
yeah,
as a
this.
webcam. So I'm gonna be able to stream better. Nathan, I realized when I went to Best Buy the other day that uh, there's the camera that does 60 FPS is actually a different camera than the one we were looking at before, and that one is
Really?
$100, and the one that I'm looking at is actually $50.
The Logitech C920.
Yeah, the C920 is the $50 one. The C922 is the is the one that does 60 FPS, and that one's $100.
Anyways, this might not be very relevant, but this is the thermal compound I'm going to be using in his PC.
Yeah,
I mean, not that I have to, but considering the fact that I'm going to be wasting the stock thermal compound in on the race spire on my CPU to flash the BIOS, I figured I might as well use something with a bit more conductivity than the stock thermal paste.
actually, didn't you trying trying to think?
And also, yeah, I bought this thermal paste more for me since I'm doing liquid cooling on my CPU on my processor.
Yeah, didn't you buy some thermal compound? Yeah.
Yeah, I bought this.
Okay.
The thermal grizzly cryo.
Uh, like I thought for some I thought that you bought it when you bought the fans.
I bought this with this fan specifically, the
Okay.
920 millimeter.
Yeah, I thought for some reason that you didn't get any more fans. Any more stuff when you got the fans. I had it mixed up in my head.
Yeah, it's okay. Uh, yeah. There's also this in case we run out of thermal paste for some reason. The Arctic MX4 that came with my liquid cooler.
Oh, so it includes that. Okay.
There is no room for liquid cooling in your case, by the way.
Yeah, not. I mean, it's definitely not a priority for me.
I mean, it is better than air cooling by far,
Yeah.
but it's not that big of a deal considering that. Oh yeah, here's my syringe of MX4, which is
Oh.
which came filled up to here when I got it.
All right.
I had used a bit because I cleaned off my CPU a few times and used this. Probably shouldn't clean off my CPU as much.
All right.
Also, that's something you should never really have to do. Just because I changed coolers a few times since I've had this,
All right.
and also
Well,
I didn't. But look.
you have considerably more of one than the other.
But this one's far cheaper.
Hmm. Well,
Not
with
as
that,
good.
I think we're gonna end it here. Unless you have something that you want to talk about.
Nothing I particularly want to talk about unless you want to see one of these Noctua fans running.
Ignore the
Is right
mess.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
there it
room is a
is.
bit of a
That
mess.
beige fan next to the red one.
They're kind of ugly, but the look is starting to grow on me. I'm thinking of replacing all my fans with that.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah. Well, hopefully you get hopefully you're able to do that after babysitting your nephew a bit more.
The first thing I'm gonna get is a replacement Vive controller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that once I babysit him this week. Getting a brand new Vive controller.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're gonna end this off here. There's just one more thing. When my when we build this PC and I get a new desk, I'm probably gonna have my setup over there, uh, by the window, so I get some natural light rather than having to have my desk fan in my face. But yeah, with that, I think we're gonna end this off. Uh, leave
All right.
Please leave comments down below with your own topics that you'd like us to discuss in the future, and I guess we'll see you in the next one.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you then.
See